Tell you what, folks, I've virtually got no news to bring you. It's happening almost on a daily basis. This last couple of weeks, there's normally things happening out there, especially in celebrity and media and all that, but nothing's going on, nothing at all. What can I tell you about today? I'll put the bins in. I've got a couple of things to go through with you, but I can't tell you much. Honestly, it's really quiet. I was going to mention last week, I think it was one of the mornings last week on the old TV there. He was on, was it Richard Marx? He was singing a song live in the studio. I don't know if any of you saw it. Absolutely fantastic. Really good. What a performer he is. Absolutely sensational voice. Sung it ever so slightly different from the record when he first brought it out, but only in a couple of little ways, but really good. What a voice he's got. That guy can cut it live, no doubt about that. I was reading today, who's your man? Frankie Valli, I think he's about 90 now. He's still doing concerts, he's saying. He's struggling with his lip syncing. His voice must be that bad, he's lip syncing, but his mind's that bad, he can't keep in time with the tune, so he's doing that. When something else is coming out, very embarrassing. Needs to throw the towel in there without a shadow of a doubt. Maybe one more concert, you could call it The Big Valley. The last one, The Big Valley. Remember the old series with old Barbara Stanwyck, I think it was? Was she in The Big Valley? I think she was. Yes, she was. I love that. I enjoyed that. Many years ago, that one now. But yeah, Richard Marx, he was very, very good. I've noticed over the last couple of days on that there ITV, they've had Trish, haven't they, in the morning with Madeley, Trish Goddard. Breath of fresh air. I read some bits and pieces yesterday on the internet there, and he's spot on. Just a proper professional, can do the job. No airs, no graces, delivers fantastically. And when you consider she's a woman that's sort of in a later stages of cancer and dying slowly in front of our eyes, what a professional, really good. We went from that to this morning a little bit later again with RYLAN and JOSIE. Dream team. Well, some would call it a dream team, I call it a nightmare team, because you have them instead of dreams, don't you? I think they're absolutely crap. Him especially, I just think he's crap. I know someone here like him. I'm sorry, he's not for me. No, he's not. Just all Mr. Over the Top. Completely over the top, full of crap. Noticed earlier as well about somebody else who is old Eamonn. Eamonn, he's been in the news the last couple of days. Fell out with a guest yesterday, asking his co-presenter today about the size of her boobs, and has she got one bigger than the other. Anything to keep in the news. But I noticed as well he's supposed to have lavished his latest squeeze with a really expensive gift. It's all over the press, but it doesn't say what the gift is. Anyway, he's saying that a 42-year-old, I can't remember her name, she wants to come out into the public domain now that they're having an affair and that it's serious. Everybody knows it, we all know it, but he doesn't want it out there because he fears it'll upset Ruth. He don't want to upset Ruth. And then I'm reading the thing and it says, she's upset, keep visiting him in his penthouse suite there, in his flat apartment. It's too hot, it's not got air conditioning, she wants to get out more, but he doesn't want to be seen that much outside with her. That said, he's been in the past to Man United with her, he's been to safari parks with her, he was meeting on a regular basis 10 minutes from his previous home that he shared with Ruth, an exclusive hotel there. Everybody seen him coming and going and knew he was going to go meeting. He put her up for a few weekends and he went visiting on a regular basis. And I'm reading the piece more and he says, Eamonn, he's well into her now, well into her. He's been intimate with her already behind Ruth's back. And you're thinking, where's all this coming from then? If he doesn't want to go public with anything, where's it all coming from? Seems that whilst he was still with Ruth, he was with somebody else. And I'm thinking, he can't stand upright, he can't walk. I think I've said it before, what does this 42-year-old woman see in him? Could it be the bank balance? I think it probably could. I read about her only a couple of days ago. They said, I think she's had a kiddie, hasn't she, with a bloke 40 years older than herself, an old coach driver. They've split up long since now. She had a kid at 19, he'd have been 59, the coach driver. She likes him older, but she's moved on now from coach drivers to TV presenters. There's a lot more money in TV presenters as she's finding, and she might have to be that long with him, and he might not last that long the way he's going. She'll see him out the way he's going, I'll tell you. I don't know, he's not well at the best of times. So yeah, that's the news on him. He's bought her a lavish gift. I don't know what it is, but he doesn't want to come out in the public domain that they're an item, although everyone on the dog knows that they are. What else was there noticed today? Yeah, Cantona. I've just seen there's a poll there on the TV. Old Eric Cantona has been judged to be the most influential player in Premier League history. In a poll run by Coral. He was first. Beckham was second. God only knows how they've done that. And Ronaldo third. Good choices for the top 10, second and third there, without a shadow of a doubt. Great choice, Eric, for number one, but I thought it'd be Thierry Henry. I thought Henry would be picked as number one. Most people try to tell me he's the greatest. Loved Henry, thought he was great. But I think what Eric did for Manchester United far surpasses what Henry or anybody else has done for any other Premier League team. I think Eric almost single-handedly took that team and made us from also-rans to champions. I really do. The young lads looked up to him. Is it the class of 92? They did the extra training with him and so on and so forth. And his gold dust rubbed off on them and his work ethic. And I think it made them become even better players. And I think that's what took us to the next level. Eric was just a superstar. Absolute superstar. Loved him greatly. So number one, Eric, I wouldn't argue with that. But I would have thought Henry would have been the number one. Because most people, when I talk to folk, seem to have him as the top dog. But no, that's what I read anyway. And what else is happening out there? Well, not a lot. Obviously, there's things happening in the real news. You know, obviously, we covered the stabbing the other day in that there London. That was horrific. I still don't think anybody knows what it was all about. It was a woman and a daughter. And somebody from, was it Eastern Europe, came and started stabbing the daughter. For no reason, didn't know them. All a bit strange. And then we looked to, I'll tell you what I did here today. I was having a bit of a discussion on the radio. Did you hear it? About that guy, the Dutch fella. The guy, you know, the old, was he a volleyballer? I think he was. There was a big hoo-ha the other week at the Olympics because he's a child rapist and people couldn't believe the Dutch had picked him to play in the male volleyball team. I think he got boos wherever he went, and rightly so. He's been in the press this last day or so saying it's wrong. I can handle them booing me, but they're giving me wife an awful time of it. The guy I played volleyball with, my partner, an awful time of it. None of them deserve it. And I'm thinking, well, you know, what exactly were the facts behind it? Because I didn't really look into it a week ago. I mean, he was 19. I think he was charged with 4 counts of rape. I think mainly against a 12-year-old girl, British girl, I believe. I think he admitted to it, did some time inside, now out. And you think, why on earth would the Dutch pick him to represent the country? He might have done his time, but why pick him? I don't get that, firstly. I'm not so sure why anybody would ever partner him. I don't think I'd want to be a partner of a rapist. But the big thing I don't really get is I understand him saying, why deliver it all at my wife's door, she's done nothing. I get that. But I thought, wife? He's been married. What kind of woman marries a child rapist? Regardless of whether he's done his time or not, regardless of whether he's learnt lessons. Now, I may have heard he's even got a child. I might not have heard that, but I think I heard that. But I was driving at the time. I might be wrong there, but I'm thinking, if he's got a child, what woman would have a child with him, especially a young girl? You wouldn't have a daughter with him, would you? Would you ever let him be alone with your own daughter? I'm not so sure you would. I'm sure you'd always have that thought in the back of your mind, that nagging doubt in the back of your mind. And again, I say, what woman would knowingly marry a child rapist? And he's not only done something once, he's done something 4 times. Very, very strange. Very, very strange. They do say there's nothing stranger than folk, though. They do say that, but no, I'm not so sure I understand that at all. All a bit dodgy, if you ask me. I don't think he should be coming out saying don't direct your hatred at my wife and other folk. I just think he shouldn't be coming out at all. He shouldn't be saying anything. He should be keeping a low profile. That's what I would suggest. I think he's very lucky he's found somebody to marry him. I really do. There's every chance he could have been on his own for the rest of his life, and some would say it wouldn't be wrong really to be on your own for the rest of your life. I think he's very lucky that he's found somebody. Don't know if they're just extremely, extremely, extremely forgiving or not too clever. I don't know. Anyway, that's it, folks. I've got really nothing else to talk about. I've covered a few subjects there, but there's nothing happening out there, folks. It's really, really quiet. It really is. But as anything else happens tomorrow, don't worry. We'll be here covering it. I could have said something about Pricey's face. It's looking a right mess. Someone said it did before she had the new surgeries. I don't want to say that. It's looking worse now. There's bandages and scars everywhere, man. Everywhere. Bruises, the lot. But that's her want. That's what she wanted, isn't it? Yeah, as I say, not much else. Gone through all the sources. nothing there, nothing doing. But as I say, as news breaks, we'll get it to you. Don't you worry about that. Hope you're all well, by the way. I really do.